So today's review is going to be on the Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. So when I first picked up this book, I actually didn't know much about it, but it was on the chapter's website for like $5, $5 or $6, so I thought I'd get it because there was other books I wanted that were also for $5 or $6. So I got this one. I remember people saying they liked it, or at least I remembered them saying they liked it. I'm not sure if they did. So I picked it up. And I didn't really read too much of the inside before I actually read it. I just read like half of it. Going into this book, I was not expecting much, actually. At the beginning of the book, when they met in the airport, I was kind of bored. I was just like, she sounds like a bratty teenager. Why would I want to read this book? She's really mean to her mom and just won't accept her dad or the fact that her family split up. I was just kind of annoyed. But then she met this boy at the airport and I was like, okay, I see they're gonna fall in love. But I actually really liked it. I didn't like it very much at the beginning just because I was kind of bored, because it's pretty much just character based at the beginning. Well, for the whole book it's pretty small and pretty much just about characters, not really a super actiony plot. But I really did enjoy it. So basically what happens in it is her and her mom are fighting. She misses her fight, so she has to stay and wait for another one. She's going to London to go to her father's wedding. And she meets this boy called Oliver at the airport, and he is also going to London. So they end up hanging out before the flight, and then on the plane they actually sit together and they just chat for the whole flight, and she feels a connection to him and she starts to like him. I guess that's all I can give you without spoilers, because none of that is a big spoiler at all. So yeah, now on to the spoiler section. On the plane they have this romantic connection and she feels something for him and she starts to like him. When the plane lands, she tries to meet up with him, like they try to meet up, but since he's from London and she's not, they have to go in separate lineups. So they don't meet up because it's so hectic in the airport. So she just heads on to her father's wedding and she makes it right on time. It's a bit late, but she makes it there. Okay, so she goes to the wedding, and at the wedding she finds out that someone in the same area that Oliver is from is having a funeral. So she clues in then that Oliver is not going to a wedding, he's going to a funeral. And in particular a funeral of his father. So she finally clues in everything that he mentioned on the plane and all the clues that he gave her. So she finally clues in and she leaves the photo shoot after the wedding and goes off to where Oliver is, and she actually goes to a few funerals before she finds the right one. She finally finds the right one and she meets Oliver there, and he's sad and it's just not what she thought, because he was there with another girl and she just felt stupid for going there when they only knew each other for however long the flight was. So she felt kind of stupid. So when she was leaving Oliver's father's funeral, she left her book on a hood of a car, and this book is one that her father gave her that she was going to give back to her father before the wedding, but Oliver convinced her not to. So she kept this book and put it on the hood of the car when she was leaving Oliver's father's funeral. But when she left the funeral, she realized that in that book she left the address of the reception. She eventually found it though, so that's lucky on her part, but she left the information in the book on someone's car. So as you can guess from that, Oliver shows up at the reception and they dance and they talk and it's really cute, and then he goes inside with her and everyone watches them dance. And I actually cried in this book, and I never really cry in books actually. I think this was the second time I cried this year reading a book. Oh, Reginald just ran up and licked my knee. That was weird. Okay, so this is actually the second time I've cried reading a book this year. So I didn't even cry during The Fault in Our Stars actually. That book, I didn't even really like it that much, so I didn't really feel a connection to the characters, so I didn't cry. But this one, I guess by the end of the book, I liked the characters and it just got me emotionally attached to it and I cried. So this book is a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I turned out to really enjoy it. For the tiny book it is, it took me a few days to finish, just because I can't read character-based novels very fast. So this one took me a few days to read, but by the end of it, I really loved it and I would recommend it to people who like romance novels and character-based novels, not so much action ones. But I really did like it. I was so pleasantly surprised. So they end up together in the end, which is nice. Because I wasn't sure if they were going to. Like, you kind of realize they are. You kind of figure they would, but when they got lost at the airport, yeah. So not only does she end up with the guy, she also makes up with her father and realizes that the woman he is marrying is really nice and really sweet, and she realizes that her life is not a complete disaster. So it just wrapped up really nice and it was a really happy book. After I read this one, I actually went back to the store and was hoping to find the Geography of You and Me, or Geography of Me and You. I don't remember what order it is, but it's by the same lady and it kind of has like the same style of cover, and I think I might pick that one up. It is a lot bigger than this one, but I really did enjoy this book. So yes, I hope you enjoyed my review, and I don't know if you noticed, but my bookshelf looks entirely different. That is because I organized it so I could see the books I have read and haven't read, except I'm kind of forgetting a few books I haven't read, but that's fine. They're kind of like shoved way back there, so I forgot about them. That's why I haven't read them. So pretty much I haven't read any of these books or any of these books. So now when I sit on the couch and go, I really need to read, I can just see all of the books here. And then these ones and the ones below I've read. So yeah, that is why my bookshelf looks different, and then everything that was on my bookshelf is just seriously in a pile on the floor, and I really need to deal with it because I really need a vacuum. Oh, and exciting because my TBR jar before, just take out the chocolate wrappers, the jar before that I had all the paper in with the books I haven't read was just this old Nescafe jar that I kept and washed out and stuff. But I switched it for a Gunter tin. If you watch Adventure Time, you know what this is and you know who Gunter is. So I just have the paper in a Gunter. Isn't this adorable? So I just have Gunter the penguin hanging out on my bookshelf. So thank you for watching my review, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.